What up, virtual people? Welcome to episode 22 of Fandom Spotlite's VCR Redux. We take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2021. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most, film professor Ian Klink.
How you doing, everybody?
And we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, our own honorary third host from Rick Barth and the Line. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. Mickey Torres is on the show.
What's up, everyone?
And rounding out this righteous crew, founder and host of the soon-to-launch Still Fabulous podcast. He's a heartthrob, a hunk, and a hero. Bobby Masters on the show.
Hey!
We are here to try and go from totally geek to totally chic. That's right. Time has finally come to talk about one of the greatest films of any genre, Can't Buy Me Love. But before, as Quinton would say, let the fun begin, we need to talk about how it came into our lives and what we love about it. We'll start with Bobby, but that also goes for you guys watching at home. Hit us up in the live chat with your Can't Buy Me Love stories. So, Bobby,
And send us pizza. I'm starving.
Yes, and red wine for our suede outfits.
Rub a little
Bobby,
salt on it. Rub a little salt on it.
Yeah, just exactly. Just rub a little salt on it, dear.
I'll just take a brew, an A&W.
The great Court McCown, first name drop of many to come on this episode, of course, of Teen Wolf and Can't Buy Me Love. What a great line. So many fucking great lines in this movie. But Bobby, let's start with your first time watching Can't Buy Me Love. Do you remember?
All right, yes, another name drop. So I go through this phase where I seek out these actresses who have really short resumes. And after discovering that Tina Caspary was cast as the original Kelly Bundy on Married with Children, I sought out everything that she did. Yes, she was in the unaired pilot.
Oh, I do remember seeing that once. I didn't know who it was, but interesting.
So Can't Buy Me Love is like her most famous role of her 1980s short-lived movie career. She's a dancer now. But I went out and about Can't Buy Me Love, fell in love with it, fell in love with all of the stars. Amanda Peterson, R.I.P., Darcy DeMoss.
The names keep coming because they're all legends. Everyone in this film.
Absolutely.
This is like on the Don't Tell Mom, The Babysitter's Dead level of deep casts. Like I would seriously put this cast up against anyone. The names are going to be flying fast and hard. How old were you at that age? It sounds like a little bit older.
About like 12 or 13.
Oh, you were 12 or 13 and you were already doing cool shit. Of course you were. Why am I fucking shocked? There is a little bit of love in the chat already. Alex Bonafonte says, what's up? Sup, Alex? Thank you so much for tuning in as always, brother. We appreciate you more than you know. Mickey Ian, first time, Can't Buy Me Love. How old? What are we talking? VHS, cable, theaters?
So for me, I could tell you honestly, it was the greatest thing in history. Can't Buy Me Love was on USA up all night.
Still my heart.
Yes.
Wait, was it Gilbert Gottfried or Rhonda Shear?
All right. This was
Good
Gilbert.
question.
This was the Gilbert years. But I guarantee you, but Rhonda Shear was always there too. They were coexistent.
Well, it was like a Friday and Saturday kind of thing.
Yeah. So it might have been Rhonda Shear, USA up all night, or it was USA up all night. One of the two had those. But that was this was gosh, what it would be. It'd be Porky's. It would be, followed by You Can't Buy Me Love, followed by, really crappy edited version of Joysticks. All of these great, great franchises that would be on USA Up All Night. But that's what I remember seeing it the first time.
That's a great gateway drug. Mickey, first time.
So again, aging myself again. I was 11 when this came out. So any event, I saw this on rental. This is definitely a rental. Okay. And it's like, back then it was like six months, and then it would be in your,
video store.
Palmer Videos, West Coast, whatever, Blockbuster.
Yes.
So,
West Coast.
Yep. The cover is what did it for me. I don't know why, but like I saw the cover and I'm like, I like the title, and I was like, oh, this is, I don't know, I'm gonna take a gamble on this one. I was all into like movies like this, Some Kind of Wonderful, the rom-coms, basically, if you want to call them rom-coms. And
essentially,
yeah, exactly. So that's how I
rom-com.
What's that?
The original teen rom-com.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many things that this movie I think started, later, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's rental for me.
So you were about 11, and Bobby, you were close to that, 11, 12. Ian, how old were you?
Oh, probably at that point, probably 10.
10. So we all 11, saw this movie pretty close. I actually, surprisingly, even though I was already one of those kids in the 90s who was like, the 80s were better, watch these great old movies. This one got by me until I was about 12 or 13. And I'm pretty sure it was a summer in between 7th and 8th grade, which is like a great age to discover this movie.
And
it was on the Disney Channel, back when the Disney Channel would show like movies from 10 years ago. Remember this? They would show Ghostbusters, heavily edited Ghostbusters on the Disney Channel and shit. They would show movies like late at night, like in the evening, like 7, 8 o'clock ish.
I do know that they showed Space Invaders.
Yep.
Late at night. I remember that.
And they would do reruns of like ABC shows and shit. Like they showed reruns of Growing Pains on the Disney Channel. I watched a lot of those.
So you must have seen it. It was all cut up then. You probably didn't even see the Darcy scene in the car. You couldn't have seen that.
Honestly, they probably did the scene, but just edited out the word titty, which is like really the only thing in the movie that there is to cut out. Even the fart sounds there's no sound. That's like one of the most brilliant choices ever. Is that all the farts are silent? It's brilliant.
That of all the things to edit out of a movie, you edit out a fart. No.
I mean, they never put in the fart. That's what
that's what I'm saying. I remember distinctly Disney cut out in Heavyweights, which one is a movie that I don't even know how it got made. Anyways, I mean, it is brilliant, but.
You look at it, needs to be covered on VCR Redux.
My God, you look at it though. You look at it in a 2021 hashtag approach. My God, how that movie got made. But they cut out the fart, and I'm like, what? Of all the things in this movie, you're gonna cut out a fart. It's a fart, people. We all did it. Well, one of us four just farted during the show. Like it happens.
Well, I guess we know who did.
Jeez, Bobby. But the point is that you're gonna cut out a fart. That's the thing. That's what's gonna hurt society. The censors feel is if a bust a win. I find that fascinating.
Well, I do want to touch on the chat, of course, because it is going a little bit. But before I do just want to say, you mentioned the 2021 world of this movie not getting made. This movie would have never gotten made if the script was originally circulating as it was. Because it was originally titled Boy Rents Girl. Yeah. And this movie was also going to hit you with some alternate cast facts. This movie was originally greenlit with Mark Price, who played Skippy Handelman on Family Ties in the lead role. I don't know what happened, how he fell out of it, but I just have a feeling like somehow they saw Patrick Dempsey in something, or they met him and they're like, this is the guy. This is so much more the guy than Mark Price. And I love Mark Price.
They saw Meatballs. Summer Job.
Yeah, but wasn't that like wasn't that around the time he did Trick or Treat?
What's that?
He's gonna look hot with his glasses off. That's what we need.
Yeah. Well, basically, that's nothing against Mark Price. He's a brilliant actor. I just don't know if at that point in time, if he was ready to carry a film, if he was a lead.
Well, did he do Trick or Treat before this? Because this is '87. Trick or Treat was probably.
I'm not familiar.
A little right around that time, a little bit before.
Anyone who's got Google handy in the chat, let us know if Trick or Treat was before Can't Buy Me Love.
We're talking about the one with Gene. You're talking about the one with Gene Simmons and yeah, that's right. He was. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm actually not familiar with Trick or Treat, so I'm embarrassed. I know. Shame me in the chat, people. But speaking of the chat, some more people in there. Our good buddy Mike Saunders, the mashup genius, and Angie Saunders as well, the two mashup geniuses. Saw it on HBO. I'm pretty sure, says Mike. Angie says watched it on VHS a million times.
Yes.
Alex Bonafante says, "Yep, USA Up All Night."
Yeah.
Our good friends at Retro Fiend Radio make some of the finest canon documentaries that you will ever see in your life. Saw it on the big screen when I was 13. I'm so jealous. This is a movie I would kill to see on a big screen one day. There was a reunion that I've watched
because Can't Buy Me Love really needs widescreen and an IMAX.
Fuck you. Yes, it does. Absolutely. First of all, this film has been disrespected. Fuck off, because it's been disrespected on home video. There's never been an official widescreen release on disc. People like me and probably Mickey, and I'm sure you as well, Bobby, have had to get pirate copies of the movie in widescreen or watch it on streaming, which is just not satisfactory.
Yeah, because I need Dempsey in 5.1. Give me a break.
I need Darcy DeMoss in 5.1. Darcy DeMoss in 5.1.
That's fair. You need the score to this film in 5.1. The score is absolutely brilliant. Shout out to the composer whose name is escaping me at the moment, but I'm going to have Google correct that. I just do want to finish up on the chat to get all caught up. Alex Bonafante says Gilbert Godfrey should do an album of lullabies. A little off topic, but on the USA Up All Night course, so I dig it.
Crap! How amazing would that be?
I would definitely pay top dollar.
I would get that for every kid in this planet. Lullaby.
Okay, so question is answered. Our friends at Retro Fiend Radio said Trick or Treat was 86, and they also saw that on the big screen.
Yeah.
Proving once again that our friends at Retro Fiend Radio are that much cooler than me and you and all of you. So if you're not following Retro Fiend Radio, seriously get on it right now because they are amazing. But
so that's a year before. That's the year before Can't Buy Me Love.
Tell me a little bit about Trick or Treat. Not to derail this
Trick or Treat
thing.
in a nutshell is basically
elevator pitch.
Skippy is like, this kid, and he loves like this, rock and roll. He wants to be this star, this and that. And basically, the whole thing with turning the records backwards because the actual lead singer is, sells his soul to the devil to try to, become famous, whatever. Then he gets put into this record. Skippy plays it. Obviously, hilarity ensues from there. Not really, but it's a great.
It's more famous for Ozzy.
He's in there for like a minute.
No, but they promote, But now you got this rock and roll horror.
Sometimes.
I gotta watch that now because I didn't know Mark Price was the lead in the movie. Met him at Chiller, very nice guy. Even just for his participation in the one episode of Family Ties titled My Name is Alex. Alone, the man is a legend of television and apparently film as well. But at any rate, back to Can't Buy Me Love. We have some more names to drop because again, this cast runs fucking deep, like deeper than anything, deeper than the Grand Canyon. We've already mentioned Darcy DeMoss and Tina Kasperi. Obviously, one of the greatest duos. I put them up there with Suzanne Schneider and Judy Aronson from Weird Science. They do
work really well together. They were a perfect pair, to be honest.
They really were. They were absolutely perfect, and as was, of course, Amanda Peterson. Who,
she had the curly blonde, right?
Yeah.
Amanda Peterson did. Kind of curly, a little bit curly.
It was like beach wavy. It was like California beach waves.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Actually, she has my birthday, or she did. We share the birthday.
Darcy DeMoss?
No, Amanda Peterson.
Oh, Amanda Peterson. Okay.
Yep.
I feel like we need to talk a little bit more about Darcy DeMoss just because she's that cool. Just like pretty much the coolest, 80s chick in this, and of course Friday the 13th Part 6, one of my favorite kills as well. But the cast is deeper. Like even Courtney Gaines, it's an embarrassment of riches, right? Courtney Gaines is the best friend. It's
Courtney
incredible.
Gaines.
Like.
Bring me the Burbs and Children of the Corn any day, Courtney Gaines.
That man sells a lot in this movie in a very little amount of time. He has like 3 scenes and he is like probably all like the heavy emotional stuff in the movie. The shitting on the house, the beginning of like, I like us, I don't want to be popular, He got
the really shitty end of the stick for his character. Like he could not win.
Yeah. Oh, it was awful.
I do hope that him and Patty, Darcy DeMoss, I hope their characters eventually did get together in the end.
No, Patty's for me. I'm sorry, but Kenneth is not getting with Patty. All right, she's mine. Darcy DeMoss in the real world is probably married and stuff, but the fictional character of Patty, I will love till the end of time. So
I love makeup. She had every scene. She had like stars drawn.
The glitters.
The 80s cheerleader shit.
It was very, very 80s, very cute.
Yeah.
She just seemed like that chick who was hanging out at the mall that was that much cooler than everyone else. But you got a baby Seth Green, who's incredible in this movie. It's got to be one of his first credits ever. Dennis Dugan, who would later direct Problem Child, which we're covering next week.
Dennis Dugan
is the
Denny
dad.
Dugan. Yeah. I always loved Denny Dugan, who, had a great career as an actor, but then just decided to do, film directing. And although a lot of people acknowledge him for his Adam Sandler's, there's a movie he did called Brain Donors. Do you all know this movie?
I do not.
I've heard of it, and I might have seen like a little bit of it, but you have to refresh my memory on that one.
Well, I'm about to blow your memory because Brain Donors is Denny Dugan's approach to doing a Marx Brothers movie. And it's John Turturro and a couple other guys, and they basically literally are remaking A Night at the Opera.
Yes.
It is genius. All right.
Yeah.
The internet world right now is going to say, F you, Mr. Klink, but I'm going to tell you, you're wrong, world, because Brain Donors is pure genius. That's all I have to say on this match.
Oh, man. There's some, I will just
Mandalorian say, I have spoken.
There's now like a side chat going on about Trick or Treat in the chat, which I love. That it's a Retro Fiends is a big Satanic Panic movie, and now Alex Bonafonte echoes my sentiment of that I have to see this movie now. But back to the cast of Can't Buy Me Love, because it runs even deeper than we've gotten to yet. Not only do you have Denny Dugan, as Ian calls him.
Oh, it's Denny Dugan. Denny. That's just.
I don't know. I love that.
Rolls
I
off
don't know
your
why.
tongue.
It just sounds like you're friends. It's like when people say Jim Cameron, like, oh, you must know him. He's not James Cameron.
I don't know Denny Dugan. I wish I knew Denny Dugan, but it just rolls off your like a croissanted butter, like butter.
Well, I'll tell you another name that rolls
Dugan.
right off. Another name that rolls right off the tongue though is Devin DeVasquez, who plays Iris in this film. And there's just so many awesome 80s chicks. I mean, Devin DeVasquez, she probably has carried her own movie many, many times.
Yeah, she actually, like, a little known fact that she actually dated Prince for a while.
Oh shit!
Back in the day,
well, we have the right people on this episode for the right lineup of facts coming. It's got me very pumped.
Also a bit part of Max Perlich. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He was
yes, from Blow and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gummo.
Oh shit, that's right. He is in Gummo. Yeah, Max Perlich is a great character actor.
Yeah, he played Lester in the Leather Jacket.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Yeah, Ronald's in no man's land and he's still alive. He's got some great lines too, very memorable. Like, $250 a month with those cheerleaders is not an unwise investment.
He grew spores and fungi in his parents' refrigerator.
Refrigerator in summer.
Yes. Oh my God. And for some reason, he talks like he's from New York, even though they all live in Arizona. This is another thing. A lot of those movies around this time that I love were shot around Arizona. Just One of the Guys, Can't Buy Me Love.
Eternity Vacation,
Yeah, very obviously shot in Tucson, Arizona. And there's like posters around the school that let you know it's there as well.
Tucson.
Whatever. I thought it was
Tucson.
Wow.
I just wanted to do the bad New York thing. Like, I learned Chris, in 7th grade, not Harvard.
Chris, you can't forget the man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, are we talking about the one, the only?
The one, the only.
Quinton is here.
Quinton is
Bobby.
good. No, we're talking about Geraldo, Rico Suave.
Oh, that's right. That's
Rico Suave.
Oh, fucking Rico Suave.
Who I think was the early inspiration for AC Slater.
Oh,
I guarantee.
And you heard it here first. God damn, that's
Suave.
so true.
He was always
the Jerry curl. It's all there.
The shirts off, everything like that. The football,
right.
That's AC Slater.
Fuck me, you are
and the
right.
writer of this movie
you're right.
wrote some episodes of Saved by the Bell.
Shit, damn. God.
As well as the writer of this movie, Michael Sedgwick, whatever that, he wrote Class Act too.
Oh,
the Kid and Play movie.
Oh, Class Act. Oh,
when you're
my money now.
And Mary-Kate and Ashley movies he did too.
All right, you went too
nobody's
far,
perfect.
Mickey. Shut up.
He did a couple of them. I don't know which ones offhand. I just saw it briefly.
Does it matter?
Mickey's like his grandma. He's bragging about like everything he ever did. Like, and he waited tables when he got to Hollywood, and it was great. Like, impeccable service.
Man was money. He did Beverly Hills 90210 episodes too. This guy is a genius.
You're redeeming. Yeah, that is
fucking.
Genius. I mean, when you're a legend, you're a legend, and there's only legends that worked on this film. Legends
Rico
like Eric
Suave.
Bruscotter, who played Big John, the man who is silent but violent with all his farts, which is again so brilliant. But from of course Major League 2, Dragging the Bruce Lee story, a bunch of other things. And that was like when I first saw this movie, that was like the one actor that I recognized. Everyone else was a fresh face. I would have, I probably eventually would have spotted that Court McCown was also in Teen Wolf. Which according to the reunion footage, he's not as proud of as being in Can't Buy Me Love. But to be fair, it's a pretty small role in Teen Wolf, both legendary films. And Teen Wolf is coming up on a future VCR Redux, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. Some more in the chat. Again, some more Trick or Treat talk. And also,
what did you do, Mickey?
Yeah, what did you do? Also, our friends at Retro Fiend Radio say Brain Donors is great. Ian is correct.
Yes.
And a new name in the chat. A new name in the chat. Iraqi Monster says hello. What up, Iraqi Monster? Thanks for tuning in.
Hello,
We're
thank you.
Excited to have you. Now Alex Bonafonte is laughing about Geraldo, as he's in Stand and Deliver, correct? Cleveland BCI. Oh, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. Then Cleveland BCI says, dude, I was so in love with Cindy Mancini. Who wasn't? I was busy being in love with Darcy DeMoss, more
same,
so.
Yeah, same.
And then
same.
Iris, I think probably Iris would have come in second
Iris
place.
is second.
No disrespect. Tina Kasperi is coming in third, but it's a photo finish. You know what I mean? I like the brunettes. I'm not the blonde kind of guy, but another blonde in the movie who is legendary. And we still haven't run down this whole cast yet because we haven't even gotten to Amy Dolenz. I know it's a small part, but she's the daughter of Mickey Dolenz.
Yep.
And,
Mm-hmm.
The cast is deep. We got Rico Suave. We got
Rico Suave.
I mean, it's a fucking.
How don't you love it? I'm sorry, that song just every time I hear it, I gotta go into that song.
And there's another cast member who pulls a lot of weight in this, and his name is Randy Hall. And his band plays the school dance. And we are talking about some of the best deep cuts of any 80s soundtrack and one of the best dance scenes, which I feel like it's our cue to talk about this dance scene. And goddamn, I mean, I fucking was Ronnie Miller.
It's the epic and amphitheater ritual.
Yes. I fucking was Ronnie Miller so much so that when I was a sophomore in high school and I went to prom, I started doing this and I got literally the whole prom to do it. It was awesome. It was like my one moment of feeling cool, and that was it. Then,
you legit did it?
What's that? Everyone did it. It all just took on. Everyone had seen Can't Buy Me Love, and everyone got the joke, and everyone was like in on it. Like, yes, we're all gonna have a fucking great time. And literally, like, probably 200 people all doing the fucking Can't Buy Me Love dance, like synced up. Eventually, the girls kind of faded out of it. It was just a bunch of guys.
It's all them.
But even still, yeah, it's all about that. Exactly. The greatest dance move in cinema history. I'm sorry, I can't think of one. Is there a better like bullshit movie dance? I don't think one exists.
I will say that there's a great dance scene in Revenge of the Nerds, I, The Next Generation. That one is pretty legit. All right.
There's a lot of good ones. There's also like,
that's more of a musical number. First of all, that is not a dance scene. That's a musical number.
She's all that one.
She's all that. That's the one I was thinking is She's All That.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Oh my gosh.
That's a pretty strong one. I'm not gonna lie.
I honestly, nothing beats for me and mainly because it has E.G. Daily in it, to be honest. But the dance in Better Off Dead.
Is so underrated.
Who?
She stole Valley Girl. She stole
Valley Girl.
Exactly. Thank you. E.G. Daily steals everything.
E.G. Daily should be in every single movie ever made. In my opinion.
Agree.
Fun fact, she was briefly in the Breakfast Club when the guy came in playing the music. Mm-hmm. The janitor. That was her song on the radio.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. I knew she was on the soundtrack. That's right. I forgot about that.
Oh, but man, I just know. But that Better Off Dead with her singing up there. And unfortunately, they cut to all these losers dancing. It's terrible. The whole time, I'm just like, can you just cut back to E.G. Daily? Like, please.
Yeah.
Just let her sing the whole music video. Like, I don't care that the guy stupid as your date. And E.G. Daily for life.
Oh, yeah. She should be a national holiday. She should be celebrated every day. It's just 365 days a year.
She's still beautiful. She's still beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she is. And she still sings her fucking ass off, too. And such a great, like, just the timbre of her voice is she's such like a natural rasp to it. That's amazing. It's very unique. And that's ultimately what makes a great singer, in my opinion.
But the 80s did have,
she was Tommy Pickles on the Rugrats, or
she was.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the 80s always did have that dance number just out of nowhere. You know, it's like you had, but I also wonder, did they do it for the music video? You know, because a lot of them would just take that little clip from the movie and put it on MTV.
Not yet on some of them. On some, like,
I know they did the Better Off Dead one. That was just literally they cut that from the movie and that was the music video.
Really? That.
Yeah, they would do a lot of that stuff for MTV.
Cheaper.
Well, it was already made, and you know, you're trying to promote the movie. But yeah, the 80s, a lot of those. I'm trying to think what others. You know, can you do the Lost Boys with the saxophone scene? You know that guy.
I don't know.
I mean, again, these are more musical numbers to me than dance scenes, but I know what you mean. Like the school dance trope was obviously a trope. There's a lot of school dance
Yeah.
scenes in the 80s, a lot of great ones too. Dream Little Dream, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, just to name a few. Of course, great Back to the Future as well. But pivoting to the chat before we continue on this deep run of cast members and great quotes and scenes. Again, a new name in the chat, Cleveland BCI, says, dude played a high schooler for 20 years, it seemed. I assume he is talking about Patrick Dempsey. Or maybe he's talking about Seth Green, because his next comment is that I didn't know the little brother was Seth Green until recently. And Seth Green is actually quite proud of the fact that he was in this movie. And there was a reunion and he couldn't attend it, but he dropped a bunch of Instagram posts or something, social media posts about it. Like, yo, check it out, Cards with the Tards, like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, that's awesome. Good for you.
Love when people do that.
Available to watch somewhere? Is this on YouTube or something?
Yes, yeah. Look up Seth Green Can't Buy Me Love. You'll find the clips of him promoting this movie. It's awesome. Like grown ass Seth Green being hell yeah.
That's what I'm watching.
An evening of cards, chips, and dorks.
Cards, chips, dips, and dorks. Oh, so good. I think it's groovy that he's making new friends, though. Can we talk about Tic Tac Tile a little bit? And obviously the car. This baby is unleaded.
The undercover car.
The undercover car. That's right. Got strategy, my man. Complete with plush blanket.
Oh,
don't about that.
Don't fool the boys.
Killing it. Yeah. Don't fool the boys. Yeah, so good. Oh my God.
That one line kind of rubbed me when he was like, you can make some sweet sweat back there. I was just like, oh God.
Yeah, that's such a creepy line.
Wow.
Wow.
But I feel like the guy that is famous for farting in people's faces would definitely say a creepy line like that,
Yeah.
And Big John is secretly the character that really kind of freaks me out in this movie, because everyone else is kind of having a good time and they're trying to grab ass and fucking get drunk and party, and he's he's so offended when Cindy outs Ronald at the party. He's like, get out of my house.
He's like, dude, get out of my house.
So horrified. Everyone else is kind of
literally turned on him. It was just oh, we can't be friends now.
And
it is intense.
Seth Green has to do intense. that cool line that when he's talking to Cindy, well, you nuked my brother.
You took him from geek status to king status to no status. Oh, little Chucky Miller. You think you shut me up? Babe said it was good for my complexion.
Yeah.
Want some lipstick?
Yeah. Oh my God. Fucking great. Just a perfect goddamn movie. I can't think of any way this movie could be improved. I would love to watch deleted scenes if there are any, but I feel like this is a tight script and this is exactly what was in it.
I mean, yeah.
Although, but do you guys get confused sometimes? I know you all probably don't, but sometimes I get confused. I mix the scenes together, like Lover Boy, Can't Buy Me Love, and all. Sometimes it's it mixes together as a whole movie.
It's like the Patrick Dempsey MILF trilogy. It's really more like a MILF sex tall. He made 7 or 8 of these movies.
Was there Love? Wasn't there one that's Love Potion?
Love Potion number 9.
Love Potion number 9 is great. No, that's Tate Donovan.
That's Tate Donovan.
That's 90s Patrick Dempsey. Early
exactly.
90s Patrick Dempsey.
That's right.
Brilliant.
And that's early Sandra Bullock too.
Yeah.
Was he in it though? Was Patrick Dempsey in it?
No.
No, okay.
But they probably wanted him for it. They probably tried to get him to be in it. I'm just guessing at the time.
He should be in everything,
Another day, Tate Donovan should also be in everything. They're 2 of the greatest actors.
Dude, are you counting Meatball's I Summer Job as part of that trilogy?
Oh, fuck yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, because he goes after Shannon
Sally
Tweet.
Kellerman.
Yeah, oh my God, you're right. He does. That's hilarious.
He had a whole career of hey, I'm the young guy who sleeps with MILFs.
My goodness.
The man was a trailblazer, an absolute trailblazer.
That's impressive. I didn't even think about that. It's there's the man who would not, the Man with No Name trilogy, the Once Upon China trilogy, Lord of the Rings trilogy. Dempsey and older women trilogy. I love that.
Fucking hey, dude, it should be on the Mount Rushmore of cinematic sagas, in my opinion. It is. It's on my top shelf. I'll tell you that right now. Center position on the top shelf are the Dempsey MILFology films.
Classic.
But Loverboy was the pizza one, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. Fucking don't disrespect Loverboy at all.
No, I'm not.
I pretend like you don't know Bernie Colson from Eddie and the Cruisers 2, who's also in Loverboy.
Eddie and the Cruisers 2.
A brilliant actor. And that's Ian's cue to walk off.
Every god dang freaking.
See yourself out, Captain Planet.
Fart on time. But like Jiminy Christmas on a turdsicle, that movie.
Loverboy exists because it was built on the back of Can't Buy Me Love, and you would not be able to have Bernie Colson delivering such classic lines as "You could be the love doctor of Beverly Hills." Like that shit just doesn't work with another actor in either of those.
And pimping him out too.
Like, well, I remember USA. It was if USA Up All Night though. The reason it all mixes together sometimes for me is USA Up. If they showed Can't Buy Me Love, it was followed by Loverboy. It was back to back every time that they would do it.
Fucking solid back to back.
Oh, it was a great double feature. But you know, like if you left, but that's as I'm saying, if you left in the commercial break of the credits, you know, and you went to go get something to eat and you came back in and it was Loverboy, it's like, oh, this movie is like 4 hours long. Okay, cool, you know.
Yeah,
you know, it's definitely covering some similar thematic material, but Loverboy is an excellent film in its own right. But we should get back to Can't Buy Me Love. I mean, we are past the half-hour mark, so we really should be into pitching our sequels by now. But I do want to pour just a little bit more love on this film because the director, Steve Rash, actually went on to give us some other classic movies later in life. Gave us Son-in-Law, I believe it was.
Yes, gave us the Shoreverse.
Yes, right? The Pauly Shoreverse and the
Weasel.
The man has touched lightning on multiple occasions, so I do just want to make sure he gets some love in there as well. But we got to talk sequels. Who's got a hot take? Anyone want to dive in there first? It's tough. I'll just throw it out there before we do dive in that obviously it's almost impossible to write a sequel to this film because of Amanda Peterson no longer being with us. And me personally, I'm also going to throw it out there that I would refuse to recast it. You have to acknowledge death. You have to acknowledge that she's gone, and you have to pay respect to that.
I feel like, I don't know. You guys didn't see the remake though, right? The Love Don't Cost a Thing with Nick Cannon and Christina.
We don't acknowledge.
I liked it. I'm just gonna say.
You don't talk about Fight Club.
I liked it.
You don't talk about crappy sequels.
Oh my god, that sounds awful.
Christina Milian was hot, and she still is. So, but it is what it is.
So Hot Girl doth not a good film make.
I digress. But in any event, so in my sequel, or a little version of my sequel, I don't know how we would get there, but my sequel would be like a high school reunion. You haven't come back, whatever that, for a high school reunion. Obviously, you can't have Amanda Peterson, but the thing is that, the high school reunion happens. Darcy DeMoss is there. Everybody's there, right? And then, Patrick comes, and obviously, Ronnie Miller's there, and he's, oh, where's Cindy? Where right there? You didn't hear Cindy went back with Bobby. They're not coming to the reunion because, with everything that happened, Bobby didn't want her to come. Ooh. And then, whatever the case may be. And Ronnie and Darcy DeMoss's character, they hook up. Okay. Yeah, Patty and Ronnie, they hook up because that was basically his first time was with her.
I kind of consider his first time to be on the toilet with Iris. I think literally. Seriously, the way the movie is set up, he literally, you see him. It's kind of graphic, and this is trimmed down a little bit, but you see him remove her underwear under her dress and unzip her dress.
They had
then the line of oh, you sure knew me earlier.
Yeah,
she said he was good. She says that he was good though.
She says he was good.
And then
all right, but then she kind of, the way she plays it though is that she was over exaggerating it, and then she tries to downplay it. Oh, come on, guys.
In my universe, Darcy DeMoss was his first.
Okay, here's why I
I
disagree.
agree.
Because
I agree with
you see him scratching off his calendar, and it says 16 years, whatever, blah blah blah, that many days. That's a long time to wait for some tit.
Yes, but at the same token, you don't know if through writing they didn't want to put, actual sex or anything like that. They didn't want to mention it.
But I mean, why would
especially
if you're not afraid of the word tit, you wouldn't be afraid to say that's a long time to wait to get laid.
But also they're trying to slow the
or to get 80s like boffed, to get my brain's boffed out.
But also try to slow the roll.
If you ever use that word with anybody, hey, let's boff, you would get slapped and laughed at, drink thrown in your face.
I will tell you, sir.
Only a man with a Hawaiian shirt would use the word boff.
I have seduced at least one woman with the word boff. In excess,
99 out of 100 slaps means that one time.
So that's my idea. My idea is make it like a high school reunion. Can't Buy Me Love high school reunion, and they all get together, and Darcy or Patty and Ronnie get together, and everything else like that. And then you might have like Kenneth with Tina Casperi's character.
But what would it be called though? Because you're not buying the love anymore.
Yeah.
Done.
But you have to for the movie's sake, you still have to put like Can't Buy Me Love high school reunion, almost like the American Pie reunion kind of deal. You still have to put that in the title because
they kept the title American Pie even though they only fuck a pie in like one scene in the first movie. Which is again.
But the movie's as American as Pie.
I guess so.
We all stuck in the theater to see it. Don't act like you did.
I didn't sneak in. I bought it.
I totally stuck in. Mickey Blue Eyes got my money that day, sir. But they did not get my attention.
The people in Lake Zurich, Illinois had no problem selling 14-year-old me R-rated movie tickets. And that was a deep summer, the summer of '99. That was a really good summer for movies. There is some
nobody ever cared about like how old I was. I bought the Showgirls VIP edition in the 6th grade, and the guy at Borders had no problem with that. Same thing with Pink Flamingos. I bought that in the 6th grade as well.
Showgirls and Pink Flamingos are two fucking masterpieces of film.
Oh god, yes.
This is why I love you, Bobby.
I love Showgirls.
Oh god, it's so fucking insanely brilliant. I love it. Hit us up in the chat if you want a Showgirls episode. Yeah, if you want a Showgirls episode of VCR Redux, let us know in the chat because I am all fucking for that.
And hit us up if you actually want Pink Flamingos
Speaking of the chat, it is going.
Written Pink Flamingos There's a script written.
No, you stop it. You were lying.
I will send that to you.
Yes, please do. I want to see all of this.
Yeah, Bobby, I read the script. I read it. It's interesting, but it was never. That's why polyester and Hairspray. That's why there's so many a year gap because he was trying to make it in between those, but it just never happened.
Fascinating. I love it. It's interesting is the Hollywood code for I hate it. Well, I know it's not the case for you.
No, it's fascinating.
It tops it a little bit.
Wow. I do want to get to the chat a little bit. Alex Bonafonte says that the 3 films are starting to blur together now. I remember Pizza and Can't Buy Me Love 2, and his pitch is tough to find a good idea, but with the budget, Dempsey would say yeah to anything where he can be a race car driver. That's actually not a bad thought of a story nugget, that like maybe if there is a high school reunion, he fakes like he's a race car driver and he tries to like kind of buy people's like whatever back that way, or he hasn't learned anything from 30 years ago. He's still just trying to be cool. Maybe that's not a great idea now that I say it out loud. But also in the chat, our friend Angie Saunders, she actually likes that idea. She says yes, that sounds good. There's some lawnmower racing and Alex Bonafonte's version.
Yes.
He's a pro schmoozing with sponsors and grid girls. Okay. People are kind of like this real life Dempsey thing. And Cleveland BCI says, can't buy me boff.
Lawnmower race.
Good God.
Can't buy me love. Can't buy me boff. I love it.
What if he starts like, Fast and Furious with lawnmowers?
Yes.
Oh my God. I always thought that was eventually going to be
family, Mickey. Family.
That eventually Jason Statham was going to make a movie where he has to like ride a lawnmower really fast or he's going to die, or he has to like ride a skateboard really fast. Yeah. He has to like do like a razor wheel, really fast or he's going to die. Because he's always about, yeah.
That sounds like a bad studio movie where they bought the title rights to Stephen King's Lawnmower Man and they had to find a way to use the title and they just did a Jason Statham.
We bought a movie called Team Rollerblade, sight unseen. We can only release it on Laserdisc. That sounds like a great investment. Oh my God. So there's some Showgirls love showing up a little bit. Thank you. Cleveland BCI says Showgirls was so terrible. It's a classic. Totally agree. It's an absolute masterpiece of shit. Also in the chat from Kyle, Can't Buy Me Love just makes me think about the Beatles song, which is another good point.
I thought it was a Beatles movie. when I saw the VHS.
Oh, you thought it was? Well, there is a Beatles movie.
Yeah, the Beat Street or Beat. What you're talking about? The one where they talk about the one that got kicked out.
Oh, that's Backbeat.
That's Backbeat. That's Backbeat.
Don't confuse that with Beat Street. Beat Street is fucking life. Beat Street is everything.
Beat Street's actually pretty good. I can't lie.
Beat Street is phenomenal. It's no Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, but what else?
Hey, one of them had to win.
Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo is a classic. I need that in my life every day.
Absolutely.
What are we going to do? We further stare up the wall.
The great Sam Furstenberg. But getting back to Can't Buy Me Love, the mention of the Beatles song is actually an interesting point because any other fucking movie in the 80s would have done like a re-recorded version of that song with some hip young artist. And they were like, no, we're going with the classic Beatles version in this. And I think it is like a slight, and they had to pay money for it. Exactly. It's usually cheaper to get someone else to fucking re-record it. But at any rate, I love the choice of going with the original Beatles song. I feel like that's not a song you can really cover that well. Even though I think the Beatles version is a cover, right?
Well, what was the original title?
Boy
Rents Girl.
Boy Rents Girl.
Okay. Well. See, so I mean, like, good Lord. I mean, that had to have been a studio guy. Like, no, we're not gonna get the damn Beatles song. Like, just pay the rights to it. I don't care. Spend.
And like, I could, if it was like Boy Rents Girl, like that would have been like Paula Abdul, who did the choreography, by the way, for this film.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if it did come out with that title today? Do you know what these kids today would do with that movie? They would rip that movie and destroy it.
It would be so canceled. Like, I know.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Like, for me, it's I'm gonna totally sidetrack here for a second, but like, I know that they're coming for Multiplicity any day now because Michael Keaton, if they haven't already, like literally plays like, kind of developmentally disabled version of a character. And is obviously not such in real life, and it's all played for laughs. And I know, like, first of all, that's in good spirits. It's not making fun of any particular.
Yeah, but he's in a Marvel movie, so they let it go.
Oh yeah, you're right. He does get a
pass. That's right.
Batman.
Literally, if you do a Marvel movie, they will not cancel you. That's the key to it.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, Michael Keaton's beyond being canceled.
I'll be that guy.
Kevin Feige, we know you're watching the show.
That's right.
Us all, right? I will just gladly stand behind Michael Pena as he tells one of his amazing stories in the next Ant-Man. I just want to be around when that happens, please. So now there's already some, I think, Fast and Furious references when you hear your family in the chat. And our buddy Twyan Lannister, aka Dustin Nino from Retrofiend Radio, says, and if we're doing Showgirls, then do Basic Instinct 2. Oh my God, yes.
Wasn't there
Verhoeven Appreciation Month. We're gonna do a whole month of Verhoeven. We have to.
First off, feel like there was a Basic Instinct 2, or there was a movie that was very similar to it.
To be fair, he said TOO, not the number 2. So it's a complete reboot, sequelization, divergence, alternate timeline.
I was gonna say
multiverse.
Basic Instinct 2 is actually a good movie if you don't watch the first one.
Okay, so wait a minute. You're telling me with a straight fucking goddamn face on that you will watch Basic Instinct 2 and you will not give Eddie and the Cruisers 2 a try. What kind of madness is this?
It's bullshit. It's bullshit right here.
It's fucking insane. It's
First
goddamn
off,
insane.
Excuse me.
You may.
Mickey, don't come after me. Secondly, F your shirt. Thirdly, Bobby, you're cool. Fourthly, that movie is actually really good because it actually dives deep into the psychology of her better than they do in the first movie. And it's actually a very much an avenging story. So if you cut off the two and it would have just been Basic Instinct, it would have been a hit, I think.
I'm just saying, on one hand, you have a post Catwoman Sharon Stone. On the other hand, you have a rippling, hunky Michael Pare and Bernie Colson combination that is like fucking peanut butter and jelly to life. And that's all we're going to say about that. We're going to get back to Can't Buy Me Love in our sequel pitches. So one thing I will say, and there goes Ian walking off again. How many times this has happened, folks? I don't know. We'll try and get
this crap. You guys bringing up crappy movies when I have to do a show.
Only because it's coming. Only because it's coming soon.
Coming to a dumpster near you. That's where that DVD is going. Hashtag. You know.
Back to Can't Buy Me Love, and the brilliance that is this film, and our attempts for sequels. Right. God, there's some funny development and disabled jokes going in the chat already. So I would kind of, if I can offer my take a little bit, I would diverge slightly from what Mickey did. Mickey had Cindy going off with Bobby, which dissatisfies me for two reasons. Number one, her soulmate is Ronnie. Let's face it. Like, yeah, I love Patty and all this stuff, but like they ride off on the lawnmower together. That's into heaven. That's a marriage vow, in my opinion. They got married on that very mower. They got married. I seriously believe this. And then she died, and it's very sad, but I think you have to acknowledge that. As much as we want these characters to live on, like Sage Stallone died, for example, and in Rocky 7 or 8 or Creed 2 or whatever, he's like, oh yeah, my son is living up in Canada. He's very happy up there. And like, yeah, that's nice. I like that. We can't do that this time because everyone knows Amanda Peterson is dead, and you have to respect that. And you have to respect like the legend of Cindy Mancini, because she ultimately is what made Ronald see the light. And she called everyone out for the stupid dance.
But the followers you all are.
Exactly.
Paid. At least she got paid.
That's right. She, fucking A. So in my mind, they got married, they had kids. You like, time has passed, and this is a teen comedy, you know, a teen love story. So you have to keep it as that. You have to keep it, you have to Cobra Kai that shit with like a new generation in there. Someone trying to buy love or buy, you know, followers or buy like whatever it is. Like you have to Instagramify like the version of this shit so like teens today can relate to it. I am not the best at that, you know, and I'm sorry. And I roll my eyes too when I think of that, but like, you kind of have to do that a little bit.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying go full blown. I'm not saying to go full blown. He's all that, but I am saying.
What if it was? What if it was? What if it was Ronnie's and Cindy's son,
or their daughter? Yeah.
Or the daughter,
but you got to have the older characters. You got to have legacy characters too. So the idea of the reunion isn't bad.
They all live together. They'll all live in the same neighborhood.
The idea of the reunion isn't bad. What I actually wouldn't mind, similar, I would actually kind of take it, and for the legacy characters, I think I would make it the Big Chill. I think they would be there for either Cindy's funeral or for like maybe they couldn't have a funeral because of COVID, and they're having one like a couple years later, you know, a year or two later, when it's like safe for people to get together.
Okay.
We're already in there.
Oh, okay.
I like where he's going. All right, I like where Chris is going. What if? And I won't lie to you. It's a little bit of a wedding date idea, but it's the funeral, right? And he's just a loser. Like, it's been all these years later, and life sucks, right? It's just full on. He never went anywhere. We thought he was supposed to. And in order to look cool, he has to rent another cool person to come to the funeral with him.
To his wife's funeral?
Well, but they wouldn't be married in my version.
Okay, in this version they're not married. Okay.
Yeah, in this version they're not married. But
I think this is the best one so far, actually.
well, but
He
he's
likes
got
this one.
now again, it's kind of the wedding date. I'm not gonna lie to you, but you know,
I don't like it.
It still does
It's a
the
little
same.
too heavy. It's like Can't Buy Me Love and Death.
I just feel like he
Oh,
learned.
that's a great title, though, Chris. That's a great title. Oh my God, Can't Buy Me Love and Death.
Oh my God.
But you know, like that's what he should do though, because that sticks with what his character is all the shenanigans and the moral lesson of, you know, you shouldn't have done this again. And
He's still mowing lawns, so that's all he's doing.
yeah, he's got his landscaping business has totally failed. You know, it sunk under. He's going bankrupt. You know, it's COVID killed it. His landscaping business got killed by COVID. I mean, you make it more relevant for today and all this kind of stuff.
I mean, there's some strength there. I think you could kind of split the difference a little bit. And like,
I think he would have learned. I mean, he basically at the end of the movie basically learned not to do that, not to rent anybody.
Yes, when the credits end, but on Friday she dumped his butt because she realized like what he did.
See, I don't like that part. Here's the way.
Of course
I
you
would play
don't,
it, right?
Because you hate America, Chris.
No, I love America, and in my America, Cindy and Ronnie got married on the fucking lawnmower. God damn it! And here's the story. Here's the story. When she died, schism, right? He fucking loses it, and he starts reverting back to the old ways because he's lost. He doesn't have her anymore, and he's trying to, like, you know, he's having a nervous breakdown, and then he fucking resorts back to this shit to save his failing business, which was successful, maybe a little bit more so than like a lawn mowing company.
Yeah, it was great in 90s.
I don't think we're gonna buy him as a lawn fucking jockey anymore.
It was okay. It was a great landscaping company in 97. All right, so he had a great year, but you know, this, you know, it's time, you know.
Oh, and Alex Bonafonte is in on this. He says he takes a porn star to the funeral. And there's also talk of COVID herpes in the chat going now. So we have officially derailed it all.
What if he takes Elizabeth Berkley to the funeral?
The guys will recognize the porn star because they watch porn. Loves it.
Big John would definitely know.
Like I said, unless you tie it to Showgirls.
Where do I know you from? Where do I know you from?
That'd be perfect.
Well, yeah, I mean, tied to Showgirls, I'm all for that. But I mean, I think you can split the difference that they were married.
Alone to the funeral.
Yeah.
I mean, now again, I fully acknowledge this pretty much is kind of the wedding date plot. You know, she rents the prostitute, and he, you know, the gigolo, and he comes and she falls in love, you know, all that kind of stuff. But you know, I think Can't Buy Me Love came first. So I mean, it's totally right for us to, you know, say
two things,
you know, to heck with you, Deborah Winging. Or, you know, we're taking it. You know,
we're taking this.
We're taking this idea, and I don't care.
Taking it back. We're taking it back.
So I mean,
it's like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. You know,
but
how do you sleep at night? Well, I'm taking this.
Here's the other half, right? I think Dempsey has two kids, or at least one kid or whatever, that he had a kid, you know, with Cindy. And somehow, of course, this kid's got to be a fucking legendary geek. And while Ronnie is doing some shit in his life, and you have the big chill shit going on, you also have his kid who's in love with whoever else's kid, because you got to, like, legacy, it's got to be Patty's kid, or it's got to be someone, you know.
Can he
learns,
and it should be Patty's kid, now that I think about it.
And he learns basically, I think where you're going, like he does the thing where he rents somebody or whatever like that, whatever. But he learns,
and that's how they connect father and son.
He learns that from talking to his dad.
Of course.
But Ronnie's telling the story about, like, how I met your mother, this and that, whatever.
Yeah. But can the kid be a jock? I'm tired of this nerd shit, king nerd crap. Like, I'm done with the nerds.
Right.
You had your revenge.
There would be no reason to rent her.
I want revenge of the jocks. That's what I want. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of nerds being in control again.
Well,
let's go back to the days where nerds got wedgies and shoved in lockers. All right, I'm tired of this stuff.
But you're right, though. Nerds are too cool now. He would have to be somehow a different kind of outcast.
Be a raver. Be a raver.
Yes.
I mean, if the movie was in 1998, then yes.
Yeah. No.
And then it would just be called Can't Buy Me Drugs.
In 2021, he could totally be into EDM and like.
I don't know.
He's a nerd. He just watches those videos on YouTube of like listening to people like eat food.
Yes, I am so excited right now.
That's a nerd right there.
Our good buddy Sean Gold is in the chat. Screenwriting legend, soon to be world famous. She says, "No way, you guys got it all wrong. It needs to be a sequel on how to run a successful landscaping business in the present age." God damn it, Sean! You are just fucking that much more on the ball than we are. What can I say? With the cameo, complete with cameo by Rico Suave. I mean, not gonna lie, I would watch it. I would watch it.
Rico Suave.
But I don't know. Before we wrap it up, are there any other ingredients you think we need on this? Is there anything specific to Darcy DeMoss? I need to see Big John fart again. I know that.
I just wanted the very end. As stupid as it sounds, I just wanted the very end for them to go into a pizza place.
And actually,
just tie it.
Time because they didn't get to eat the pizza because they took the pizza.
Ronnie didn't get his pizza.
And it's a pizza place from Loverboy.
If there's pizza and meatballs, then I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to get struck by lightning or something because it's just that guy. It's pizza and milks, man. A whole career out of it. I mean, does it get any better?
Oh my God.
Seriously.
That's the poster I want, Chris. Pizza and...
The guy is living the dream before we even knew that we needed it. Unfortunately,
before there was Stifler's mom.
Yeah, way before
That's
Stifler's
true.
mom.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh wow.
Stifler's mom was just a young 32-year-old minx back then. Any rate, Bobby, is there anything going on? Oh,
I'm talking about her.
What's that?
Don't even get me started talking about Jennifer Coolidge. I will not stop talking about her.
I do love Jennifer Coolidge. She is amazing. And
she
everything. Pootie Tang. That's all I can say. Was another thing that I hope we do on VCR Redux very soon because I could write Pootie Tang sequels for days.
What world do I live in? I swear.
Alex Bonafonte is also saying Can't Buy Me Hall Pass too. I love it. That's actually kind of an interesting take as well. But Bobby, what's going on with the Still Fabulous podcast? How close are you to launch, my man?
I could do it next week if I wanted to.
Oh, if you want to.
That is the best badass statement I've ever heard anybody say. If I wanted to launch it next week, I could.
I just
that was the best.
I got people lined up. I just got to say, yo, are you free this week? Talk to me for an hour. And then here we go. So
that is a fucking mic drop.
I'm gonna put a release date out. We'll do it next week. It'll be up next week. How about that?
That's fucking great.
You heard it here
folks. That's
My
right.
Just is the Stacy Lynn Ramsauer from Tank Girl and the Babysitters Club.
Babysitters Club. My gosh.
You are going to be doing God's work, and I am so excited for the both of you. God gets to take a break while fucking Bobby runs the goddamn table, and I'm here for it.
Sweet baby Jesus will be riding shotgun.
Sweet baby Jesus. Mickey, what's going on with you, bud? Rick Barth on the line. Any closer to shows that I can attend soon?
Not just yet, but we will be getting together soon. So it'll be our first practice in a while. So we'll see where we go.
All right. Well, that is cool. But next time you tell me no, you're gonna have to at least tell me in Pootie Tang speak, so it softens the blow a little bit because I just keep getting no every time I ask you that question. Ian, anything going on with you, bud? Any novels getting published or anything?
Not yet, but if any of you are going to Northern Fan Con, there's a convention there. Good friends at Dairy Public Radio are going to be premiering a commercial that I directed for the website. So it's going to be premiering on the main stage. So do enjoy that, and that'll be on YouTube afterwards. So like and subscribe them. So again, Dairy Public Radio, but that's so I got coming, and gonna go eat some pizza after this.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I don't have pizza to eat after this. And that all sounds awesome. I wish I could attend that. I have some things,
like a good one. Yeah.
That does sound like a good one. I have some stuff coming up similar-ish in mid-October. There's a one-day horror sideshow market with Miss Darcy DeMoss from Camp I Me Love.
Oh.
So it's all relevant. And I am going to go there and spend my money and get her autograph because she's the coolest chick that has ever walked the earth. And I need to hear some stories from her. You all should do the same. And you could find out more at NewJerseyHorrorCon.com. Speaking of, there's also another show coming up in November where I am going to get to meet the one and the only Miss D. Wallace Stone, in addition to many other cool people. But yes, the mom of our lifetime. She is the mom and everything, and she's always perfect. So we have that to look forward to. Also, you Fandom fans might want to tune into tomorrow night's What If panel at 9 p.m. and Tuesday's Walking Dead Reactor panel featuring our very own governor. We also have more footage coming from New Jersey Horror Con, the past show, and Dragon Con coming soon. And of course, you want to tune in next Wednesday night at 9 p.m. as we get bad to the bone. We resurrect the Problem Child franchise.
Yes,
as always, that's right. That's right.
Yes.
Speaking of fucking Dennis Dugan, speaking of Dennis Dugan.
Denny Dugan.
Not fucking Dennis Dugan, but why not? If he's willing to come on the show.
Please, Denny Dugan, please.
Denny Dugan, you are welcome here on this show anytime. The Denny thing is I'm never gonna look at Denny's restaurant the same. Anyway, folks, as always, if there is a particular movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode of VCR Redux, let us know in the comments section on YouTube. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead, like, subscribe, and follow Fandom Spotlight, Rick Barth and the Line, the Hollow Nine Network, and Pop Culture Punk. And keep your eyes and ears on the lookout for the Still Fabulous podcast with Mr. Bobby Master. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we will see you at the movies.